A very good day to all, and today I am going to discuss the last topic of unit number 2, that is capacitor energy. Rest all the previous topics are given in the description box. I have given the link of these videos in my description box, and that are in the sequence, so you can go through each and every topic of unit 2, that is electric potential and capacitance, and you can get the link and you can watch the videos related to unit number 2. So today I want to discuss about electrical energy only, and regarding the storage of the capacitor, the end point of this capacitor chapter. So here, to find out the energy, initially we take a parallel plate capacitor. We can solve out the energy for different shape capacitor, as I told you that spherical capacitors are there, cylindrical capacitors, variable capacitors are also one category that I will give a brief overview about that capacitor. And here I am taking the case of parallel plate capacitor. This is the side view. You can see these are plates, plate A and plate B. Okay, these are the plates. Okay, as I have given the symbols of terminal as A and B, so I must have to take it as P and Q. So these are the two plates which are parallel, which are placed parallel to each other. So now we have to calculate energy of the capacitor. So you know that energy is equivalent to work. So if we are able to find out work, we can calculate energy. Okay, so you know, initially we have to show the brief description of this figure. This is plate area A. Both the plates are having the same plate area. This one is plate distance D. Okay, plate area A and plate distance D, and both are connected with the terminal. This terminal is positively charged, this terminal is negative charge. The space charge density here is sigma with plus sign, and here the sigma with minus sign. So this is the space charge density, or it is also called the surface charge density. So this one is sigma here. Now to find out the energy of this capacitor, we will take the case of, first of all, capacitance. So what is the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor? That C is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D, if we are not using any dielectric in between. Okay, so epsilon naught A divided by D. Here A is the plate area and D is the plate distance. So this one is the value of C. Now we have to calculate the value of charge Q. So what we are doing here, the capacitance of a capacitor is fixed. It is the characteristic property of capacitor. So we are providing voltage to terminal. Let the voltage is V, and that voltage is provided, that positive part of that voltage is provided to the plus terminal, and negative part of the voltage is provided to the minus terminal. You can draw, you can assume one battery here. This one, this is a battery, because initially I have taken B point as negative terminal, so plus and minus. This one is a cell, basically it is not a battery. You can draw the battery in this manner. Okay, so positive and negative terminals are provided here. So we can take the case that here there is a plus voltage, plus potential, and here this is the minus potential. Again, remember that you are using the correct wording. Potential, A point potential and B point potential, and voltage is corresponding to the potential difference between the two terminal A and B. If we will take the difference of these two potential value, we will get the potential difference. You can assume that case that all the V potential is provided to this A terminal, and the zero potential is provided to B terminal. You can take this case, okay, when you are solving any numerical, okay. But basically what is going on here, the positive terminal here attached with A and the negative terminal attached with B. So potential, because of this potential difference, the charge is going to store over this P plate, okay. It is started collecting over the P plate. So means what, the charges are entering into the P plate one by one. So initially if we are taking the case that at any instant T, the charge provided to the capacitor plate is dq. Here the small amount of charge is provided to plate P, regardless of the fact that potential difference across the two plates is V. So this charge, when it will reaches to the limit of its value, its maximum value, it will reach to the maximum value, then only the capacitor will become full charged and we can attain the total energy, we can get the total energy of that capacitor that we are calculating here. So what we have to do, initially at time t, the charges provided to the plate P is dq and corresponding minus charge will be induced on plate Q, induced word. Again, find out and focus over each and every word, whatever I am describing here. These are the charges, negative charges are collected over the plate Q due to induction method, because there is a gap in between the plates. So there must be induction method. I have discussed this phenomena, mechanism of the capacitor in detail in my last videos. You can go through the link and you can get all these videos. So here, come to the point here. So this one is the dq charge, and you know the basic formula that work and potential are linked with each other, potential difference and work. What are the relation between potential is also linked with the work and potential difference is also linked with the work. That also is given in the descriptive form, in very explanatory form, in the same unit, electric potential. So here in this unit we have described the two terms, electric potential and capacitance. So all are given in detail, and if you are able to grasp each and every basic concept, you are quickly sort out the numericals which are provided in different reference book as well as NCERT book. So better to go through the basic, give sufficient time in the chapters description or explanation, then only you must have to go to the numerical part, okay. Otherwise you will be confused here. So work, that and potential difference, these two quantities are interrelated. So you know that what is the relation between the two? That is, you know that work is equal to V into Q. That potential difference or voltage is equal to work done divided by the charge value. So this one is the relation. On the basis of this relation only we will go through with this topic. So a small amount of work to collect dq charge over the plate P and corresponding induced charge over the plate Q, that work is equal to V into dq. This point is clear? dW is equal to potential difference across the plate into dq. dq is the small amount of charge that are stored at time t. Now we can integrate these two terms and we will get the full work and corresponding to the full charge value over the parallel plate capacitor. So integrate the term dW, that is equal to integration V dq. And now these steps are very simple. If we consider, we have to assume that the total initial charge here over the plate, that is 0 initial charge, Q naught, and the final charge over the plate, that is Q. So total charge is Q. So V is linked with the Q by the law of capacitance. Here we are applying law of capacitance. And in accordance with that law, Q is equal to C into V. C is fixed for a capacitor, so that is why we can relate this quantity as V is equal to Q by C. So this term we have to put in this equation. Why? Because V term is not alone. It carries the Q term too. So that is why we need to take this term. Now put the value of V in equation 1. So integration of dW, that is equal to integration Q divided by C into dQ. Okay. Now take the constant term because C is capacitance and this is the characteristic property of capacitor, so it should be constant. It can be taken out. Now Q into dQ. Now you have to integrate this. The integration formula will apply integration of x to the power n dx, that should be equal to x to the power n plus 1 over n plus 1. That formula you will apply here in this derivation. So integration of dw is equal to 1 over c, and limit you can take here 0 to q. Minimum limit is 0. Here I have taken the case minimum limit is what? 0, and maximum limit, final limit is q. So we can take the limit and q value, because it is x to the power n, so q to the power 1. So the result will come as q to the power 1 plus 1, that is 2 q square divided by 2. So you will apply the limit 0 to q and you will get the same result as q square divided by 2. So that is the result you got here in this formula of total work done. Now this total work done should be equal to energy stored. Energy is stored in the form of potential energy, so that is why it is represented by U. So energy stored U is equal to half Q square divided by C. Now C value you can put down and you will get the result later on. Or you can leave the last step here only. You have got the result of U potential energy as 1 by 2C Q square. This is the formula for potential energy. You can convert this formula into the 3 form by the law of capacitance. Q is equal to CV. So one time you can put this formula in the form of Q by C, Q and C term. Another result can be found out if you are replacing the value of C. So it will get it as Q divided by V. So 2Q divided by V into Q square. And then you will get the result, but power will cancel out and you will get the result as half of Q into V. This is another result. And one more result, if you want to replace the value of Q, so Q is equal to CV, you have to put the Q value here in this formula. So U is equal to what? 1 over 2C and Q is equal to CV whole square. Here there is a square, so you will get the term 1 over 2C C square V square, and you can find out the last answer as half of CV square. So this is the result of U. That 3 form of U we have got. One is half of QV and one more is half of CV square. So these are the 3 results of energy of capacitor you got. So energy of capacitor can be only in the form of Q, V and C. Okay. So this is overall derivation of capacitor energy, and now we can calculate the energy density. Why we need to calculate the energy density term here in this topic? Because when we will discuss the topic of Maxwell equation, electromagnetic wave, so we have to consider the 2 cases that depends only over the elementary terms related to electric field and magnetic field. So one term energy density comes only in the form of electric field and the property of permittivity of medium of free space, and similarly magnetic energy comes in the form of that magnetic field and one more constant term that I will introduce later on, and that is called permeability. So here this energy density overall purpose is what? That we need to find out the electrical energy and magnetic energy in the combined form to find out the value of electromagnetic energy. Okay, so that are very broad topic. I don't want to go in very deep to that topic. Both are all are interrelated. So energy density is the next term. Okay, we need to calculate energy density, and remember this energy density is represented by U. I have not calculated here the unit because energy term we have calculated and we have introduced the unit of energy. and that energy rate is joule only. So here only this the unit will be same. Here we will use only joule. So capacitor energy also that we will discuss. We will put the value of capacitor energy only in joule form. Now energy density is represented by small u, and by this density term you can easily guess that formula, basic formula of energy density, and it is represented by that density is equal to mass over volume. So if anything is divided by volume, that comes in the form of density, like number density. Number density means what? Number per unit volume. Okay, so energy density, energy per unit volume. So these are the some terms that you can easily find out the formula for that term by their name only, like the gradient terms, like the rate term. Gradient means what? Anything divided by distance. Grade means what? Gradient means what? Anything. Gradient I told. Gradient is what? Anything divided by distance, and rate means what? Anything divided by time. So here, if you want to find out the formula for energy density related to this one, so what should be the formula? It should be energy per unit volume. That only is the formula for energy density. Now we can calculate the result for energy density by using the result of this U. So here what you have to do, now I am going to run this term. U is equal to 1 over V. V here is the volume of parallel plate capacitor, because we have taken the case of parallel plate capacitor only. So what should be the volume? Volume is equal to, this one is parallel plate, so there is a plate area and plate distance. So area is A and distance is D. So what should be the volume? Excuse me. A into D. So that is the volume. Now U is equal to half of CV square. This is the energy value. U is equal to half of CV square, and in place of volume we are putting the value of AD. So A is the plate area and D is the distance here. Now we will put the formula for parallel plate capacitor, capacitance C. So half 1 over AD into C value is what? Epsilon naught A divided by D. That is the formula for capacitance, and V square. Now V and E, electric field, are interrelated. This is parallel plate capacitor. Electric field is from positive plate to negative plate. You know this. If there is air inside it, and as well as in the case of dielectric. If dielectric is placed, then electric field value decreases because of the infield. That also I have discussed in last videos. So here the net electric field decreases. So we are taking the case of parallel plate capacitor without dielectric. So here that E and potential difference, these are interrelated by the potential gradient term, and you know that E is equal to delta V over delta X with minus sign. Minus we don't need to consider here, so we will put the value delta V over delta X. Now what is delta V? The potential difference across the plate, that we have taken as V, and the delta X value is what? The plate distance corresponding to the distance between the plate. So here it is plate distance. So we can put the value of V in the form of E and D. So V is equal to what? ED. So in place of V square, we will put it as ED whole square. Now you can cancel out the terms here, whatever terms are common. Epsilon naught. Now D1, these are D square, here this is D square. So these two terms will be cancelled out, and you will get the result as epsilon naught into E square. So this is the value of energy density. You can see here that half of epsilon naught is permittivity of free space, and E is the electric field applied to the capacitor plate. So means what? This is the energy density, which is the characteristic property of electrical energy. This is only in the form of electrical energy. You can see all these terms are very, this term is constant, and this term is based on the applicable value of, applied value of electric field. So that is why we have to consider this energy density terms. It is much more useful in electromagnetic wave. So that is why this topic is very much important. So this one is the last topic, and I want to share some information related to capacitor now. That capacitor is not only used in fan, it is also used in cyclotron, it is also used in oscillator circuit, it is also used in radio tuning, radio station, you know, that FM radio 95.5 FM, 91.1 FM, so that all you know. So these FM radio frequency, that FM means what? Frequency modulation. So these radios, this frequency are matched with the station frequency with the help of LC circuit. L is one term that I will introduce in the magnetic unit, and C here is the same term, capacitance. So remember this one is the new physical quantity for you, but if you will go through the basic concept given in this chapter, you will never forget this theory, and you can easily apply this theory to the further chapter. Again I am repeating, nothing is independent here. In the first book of NCERT, electric field and magnetic field all are interrelated. So go slow. I will discuss about numerical part, numerical portion of chapter number 2. So electric potential, potential energy and capacitance, all the numericals are based on in these three topics. And okay, thank you.